This is Judge Joe Brown, and we're listening to We All Be News. News-free Dixie for the 21st century.
So are you there?
I'm here.
Yes, sir. It's an honor to have you back on. A Happy New Year. I guess we made it
to you and the family. Good. Now, when is this going to run so I don't date it?
Oh, this week, sir. I'm running this week.
All right. Good enough.
Yes, sir. So I want to talk to you about a lot of things that have happened.
Don't tell me. Just do it. I don't want to know.
Just do it? Okay. All right, so I want to ask you about your opinions about the Sandy Hook and Aurora mass shootings, your perspective on it. Was it the acts of mentally disturbed individuals, or was it something bigger than that?
There's never no mental individuals that do that, from killing the president to blowing up buildings. That's crap. But the American people buy it like the Hitler and the Nazis bought it, and the Romans bought it before it fell. So all that is a game, and the press is part of it, and we buy into it because we part of it. I mean, as black and as humble as I am of liberation, I'm just as filthy as the ones using the drones, dropping it on women and children. Why? Because every time I get on a plane and go to a peace rally, I pay tax on my plane ticket that help buy drones. And so when the drones fall on my grandchildren and wife and family, then I just look up to the sky and say, even, baby. This is a game we play. The white folks, the reason the Civil War started, because the white folks that would never own a slave, they sit by and let it happen. And when John Brown raided the Harper's Ferry, and all them white folks was thinking about 100,000 black slaves with guns, and they felt that part that's down inside them, that when you tolerate it. So I pay for it, so it'll come around. What goes around, come around. So that's it. We black folks run around. We let our children go to war and kill people we don't even know, then come back here and some racist cop and shot your mom in the back 5 times. You ain't going to do nothing. So that's where we are. And we don't understand that, because as long as I don't have blood on all my hands, I think I'm clean, and I'm not. They call this America, huh? And when people talk about us, they say, you Americans. They don't say white Americans or just black Americans, Italian Americans. So this is what the game is. We spend $1 million per soldier a day in Iraq and Afghanistan. And we're too stupid to know that in the history of the planet, every mighty nation that ever went into Afghanistan didn't come out of that. And so white supremacy make us think we're different. And we're not. In no shape, form, or fashion. And so when you sit and say we're spending $2 billion a week in Iraq, in Afghanistan, and this is a game. The fact that everybody see it in the world but us, and it's really white supremacy, all the white worlds come together and do what they want to do and take them Negroes with you. They'll help us. And now we at the end. It always come to the end. The Romans didn't know it was coming. The Greeks didn't know it was coming. I'm just shocked that we don't see the same similarities. Right before Rome fell, they went to Africa, the black African emperor, to run Rome. It didn't help. It's too far gone. And if you drive down the street and never passed a paper mill, you can't find no more stink than that. Except the people that work in it, they don't smell nothing. That's us. We've been with this filthy, nasty, whore, ungodly, unspiritual dog, and we don't see it. We look at him, we see us. We want to be it, and so we going to get it. You don't have to worry about that. And then what you said about the school, well, let's go back and look at the school for a minute. Sandy Hill, right? Did you see the last Batman movie?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you hear the name Sandy Hill mentioned in that?
You mean Sandy Hook? Yes, sir.
Sandy Hook, yeah. You saw it, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, you know how long ago that was?
Back this past summer, yes, sir.
Okay, so then how you think it got in there? Accidentally, or somebody was sending a message that this is what's going to happen? Or you think Hollywood is spiritual and ethical and godly? Huh?
I think the former. I think the former.
So when I heard the news, I just called my wife and said, cancel everything. and I turned on TV, and that happened at 9:43 a.m., and I saw ambulances coming in and going out and coming in and going out. How come they haven't told us about one injured person? All they tell us about the dead folks. If you listen to the news, you don't think nobody went to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And then the lies they told. You see, if you're a cop, you're the police chief of a town, and somebody robbed a bank in a red car, and I said, oh, I saw it. It was a green car. He left. He went right. Okay? Then I'm part of it. So if you go back and listen to what they told us, first the boy killed his daddy, okay?
Oh, his mom? Yeah.
No. I'm saying he killed his daddy first. That's what they told us. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you told me that first? Okay, gotcha.
Ain't no such thing as first. A lie is a lie. And nobody stopped and said, wait a minute. Wait, hold it 1 minute. You told me Dad was dead. And then you told me he drove 250 miles to that town, Newtown. And then he killed his mother. Then you told me his mother worked at the school. Mother ain't never been in that school. See, one lie, I can let you go. But when you lie after lie after lie after lie, then something's wrong. If you and I are cops and we walked into that school and there's those children been slaughtered, teachers slaughtered, how did we know he was the one? Why didn't we think he might have been a teacher? Huh? He didn't have no rifle, all them weapons. He didn't have none of them by him. So what did he do? Commit suicide and then throw the weapon away? If he got all these weapons and he committed suicide with a handgun, come on, give me something, huh? And the coroner, when the press asked him at the press conference, have you how many? What's the gender? How many? He said, I don't know. How can you be a coroner, man? And you examine bodies and don't know how many is male and how many is female, huh? And getting still, we buy it because that's the way they run it down, and you think it's some little insignificant thing that happened there. Nobody has told us, with all this old news, the New York Times, all of them is evil, and they part of it. And nobody's told us that a mile and a half down the street, they was running a major terrorist drill. I mean, nobody told us. Are you serious? Nobody tell us that the United States government use actors. Huh? They use actors because if they go into St. Louis and they trying to teach the teachers and the students, they seeing people in there of what they look like. They mode of operation. Huh? Were those actors there? How come the government's not telling us? It ain't a crime to do that. I mean, if you have a baseball team and you have farm team was warming up, that's not a crime until you start lying to me and not telling me. And so when you sit and you look at it, I have the tape, not of the police 911, of their police scanner. And here's what they're saying. We got one in the car. We got one on the ground, handcuffing him. We're bringing it. Oh, here's another one running at me. Huh? And I can say this in NBC, but you can punch up on the computer, and it'll flash up in your room, and you think this is just about some children in some little old ignorant town? Not on your life. And so we sit back and wait for NBC and CBS to tell us. And just had a professor down there in Florida that he think the whole thing was a trick. Now, I can understand somebody saying that. It might not be true. But why did CNN give him 30 minutes? He wouldn't even come on talking about what he's saying. Huh? Because the guy who was bringing him on kind of believed something, but he can't act like it, so he got to act like he's hostile. He said the one girl in the red dress, the girl that died, her sister showed up in the funeral in a red dress. And the news guy didn't even say, well, wait a minute. You saying the same? Yeah, I'm saying, well, wait a minute. If I'm shot up with gunshot and bullet wounds in my dress and soaked with blood, plus it's part of the crime scene, can you explain that? He didn't even ask him that. So what did he know? This guy's a professor down in Florida. And his website is getting more hits now than anything. Because somebody said, wait a minute, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of questions haven't been asked. The coffins were sealed and cemented, just like Jonestown. So who's in them coffins?
Mm.
I'm not saying, but somebody need to. Why was the FBI involved in that? That's not a federal crime. Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
If I go in the post office today and I go in and jump over the counter, huh? That's a federal crime.
Mm-hmm.
If I go in Safeway today and shoot up everybody in, that's not a federal crime. Why are they involved? Why were they involved in Malcolm? Why were they involved in Kennedy? Why were they involved? Well, Kennedy's the president. Why were they involved in King's assassination? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
And so we just let it go by and let it go by. Give me some more, beer and some cheese and some cookies, but we pay for it. All the universe balance out everything. You plant a seed in the ground, and you're gonna reap something. And if you have a country that's been doing it for years and years and years, I mean, do you know we're dealing with a white boy, mama, not my mother who came over slave, a white boy's mother came on the boat with him, and not till 1921 was she able to vote. A white woman today, his daughter, his wife, his sister, his mother, with a PhD make 87 cents on the dollar compared to a white boy. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
This is what this is about. And every now and then you use up your chips and the game is over. Capitalism is dead. Money's all messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And if the president was listening to some of these shows, he might be able to duck a bullet. Because anytime you tell me a story ran in, in his first administration, he that couple slipped in the White House,
mm-hmm.
state dinner. Now think about this for a minute. It is easier to slip into heaven than it is to slip in the White House, huh? If you and I go to the post office tomorrow and I jump over the counter, that's a federal crime, huh? How can it be a federal crime if I jump over the post office counter, but slipping into the White House on the false pretense with another head of state there, that's not a federal crime?
Mm.
So is this president in charge or not? We talk about, oh, God, did you see how he looked on that first? He looked on that first debate because he was told what they found out, that General Petraeus and a bunch of them others were planning on overthrowing the government. That's why that look was on his face. That's why he sounds stupid. And then they tell us it was about some pussy, man. Oh, someone who cares about a ignorant general who will shoot at God having sex with a woman? Huh? Go to Colombia. Do you know how the number one drug cartel in the world, they kill mayors, they kill governors, they kill soldiers, they kill cops? And he got somebody around him that's so clever and so unconcerned about him, they let him go to Colombia for a briefing? Huh?
Mm.
And then all at once the 11 agents, that's the 11 agents they sent in to guard his car. They was out chasing booty, man. Well, you can do that all the time. You're not driving his car every night. And nobody seemed to be upset in the White House about it, including the president. Huh? Who's really in control? A $48 whole bill tied up the whole world. Oh, no, she wasn't no whore. She probably is, but she was an undercover CIA agent. That's how they found out about it, huh?
Mm.
And I can know it, and the president don't know it? What is this about? I'm the one who released the pictures with Ron Brown with the bullet in the back of his head. They killed all them people, then crashed that plane because if Ron Brown came back, he'd have to go testify, and a whole lot of stuff would have come out, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And so this is what we're talking about. And he's sitting there and not paying no attention when he went out to Arizona and that white woman governor shook her finger in his face Well, if you, the head of this state, and there's a whole lot of people would die for you in the National Guard, then is there somebody up on the roof? I'm taking my lead from you. You the governor. You the head of the National Guard. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
And your leader shake his finger in my face, and the people around him let him keep going back his business as usual? Or is there a different protocol for a Negro president? Huh?
Mm.
And so when you stop and think about the story that just broke last week, all the papers, the New York Times, it was here's the story. Richmond, Virginia, presidential steal plead guilty. Now listen to this. Plea deal. A man pleaded guilty Wednesday, that's his last Wednesday, to stealing a truck that contains President Obama's audio equipment and other office trippings, including the presidential seal and the podium. Now, here's a man fixing to go and speak outdoors, and somebody steals it, and then just steal it, didn't get caught. They found it the next day, a couple blocks away in a parking lot. Who's watching the president? Huh?
Mm.
Who's watching the president? It was a 2005 van owned by the Defense Department. We got the baddest military in the world, and somebody come up, and they said he pleaded guilty by himself. Listen, a fool know if I'm going to assassinate the president or harm him, I'm not going by myself.
Mm.
I'm taking a partner with. I'm not just going to shoot out of a tree. I'm going to steal the van, and they stole it from. This is what we're saying. The van minutes it contained that they recovered the next day. Oh, nothing was missing. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. And it never hit the paper till the other day. We think we're living in a free, democratic society. You got a man that's supposed to be one of the bright minds on the planet, President Obama. He's getting ready for the inauguration, and the pastor he preached to do the benediction. It's not just anti-gay. He said 15 years ago at a speech that all gays should be electrocuted. Well, who's watching the ship, man? I mean, have they put him out and turned him into a zombie? He's bringing a gay lesbian band in from St. Louis, a gay poet to read poetry from Cuba. He's a Cuban on the way from. And yet he'll bring in this gay bashing minister, and none of his people know it. I'm not buying that. I am not buying that at all. I know he didn't know it. So that's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. And the next day, it's off the pages. Nobody's saying, wait a minute, man. Pateas and them, the black guy in general that's over the African death in Africa, he gets busted, and they say because he's buying expensive clothes for us. No, he was part of it. They took a admiral, took him off the boat in the Indian Ocean. 40 of them been busted. Only one paper ran it, one magazine is GQ, and then they snatched that off the market. And then last week, a major article, not the London Times, the London Guardian, one of them papers like that, did a front page story on how there was almost an attempted coup, and the New York Times, Washington Post, not one paper in America touched it. Huh? Hey, man, what's going on? Huh? What did Marvin say? What's going on?
Right.
Well, that's what we're looking at. Huh? That's what we're looking at as we approach the Martin Luther King holiday, birthday. And you look at the universe, not the thug punk pimps. King. What's the odds of the first black president you have The inauguration's January the 20th, but since it comes on Sunday, we can't have it then. So it'll be on the King holiday. What's those odds? The white racists don't control that. What's the odds when they was getting ready to unveil the monument here in the nation's capital on August the 28th, but an earthquake hit and they changed the date to October the 16th. That's the same date that John Brown raided Harper's Ferry. That's the same date that the Honorable Minister Farrakhan held a million-man march. They think they're in charge. They're not in charge. They just an inch above the wimps that they manipulate and pull. So this is what this is about. And, see, white ain't a color. It's an attitude. And if you ain't got serious bucks, you can't have the attitude. And them little chumps over at the National Rifle Association, they think they got some they don't even see this happen. They don't even see and they're about to get wiped out. Because if I scare you enough, I don't need a law. If I scare the people, we'll take your guns. They did that in New Orleans during Katrina. The New York Times didn't tell you. Blackwater moved into New Orleans 18 months before Katrina. So you sit and you look, Donald Trump's little thug son, 8 months before Katrina, 9 months, he was buying property in the 9th Ward, and nobody ever told you that 98% of the people in the 9th Ward own their own homes. They just believe there's a bunch of wimp punk handout folks. And we sitting here worrying about welfare. As a business person, I could take a prostitute all the way around the world with me as long as I call that hoe my secretary. It's a tax write-off. So if I left my house and I walked down the street to the red light district, you don't have to point out that's a prostitute. I can look at it. I know by their demeanor. I know by the way they walk, the way they switch their heels, the way they talk, the way they chew gum. That's a hoe. Now, if I can recognize a prostitute without her telling me she's a hoe, then how come if you don't tell me you're a Christian, I don't know you one? I can check her by her demeanor, but not you. And so we just take everything, we let them, not us, recently, thousands of years ago, we let them substitute the universal God for religion, a church. And not too many years ago, when the Catholic Church installed their first Polish Pope, 1.5 million white folks left the church. I wonder where they leave the whole house. Or the tavern, And so how far do it go? For my poor mother. If she was on the planet 9 and she walked in your office, your studio, you think God just spit out. That's how precious and sweet and kind she is. But if you tried to tell my mother Jesus Christ wasn't a Christian, she would stomp you to death. She's not even aware, man, that King James, she don't even know who he was. All you know is he wrote the Bible. Wait a minute, King James? He didn't lie. He said, my version of the Bible. She didn't know King James was King of England. She didn't know that King James was such a weird, strange homosexual. He hated women so bad he killed his mama. And his lover was Lord Buckingham, who Buckingham Palace named after. But all that gang that ran with her, they beat up on gays because we think God wanted. Well, the gay that gave you the book, what about him? How many black entertainers is gay? We don't hate up on them. We don't stop buying their records. So what they talk about the president, he's going to say same-sex marriage, and we don't going to vote for him. Well, wait a minute. What about all them other gays? The movie stars, the athletes, And so this is where we are, but, we're at the final, not days. So tired, I grew up in the house where them folks make a pit bull out of God. God will take care of them. Same God that created the Jews, created the Germans. Same God that created the slave master, created the slave. Come on, y'all. But you see things changing. I've seen Django Unchanged. I've seen that 12 times. It's never in the history of Hollywood have they ever made anything that freed the inside of me. The inside of me, huh? I'm 80 years old, man. I saw a cowboy movie. I know black folks in cowboy movies. I'm looking at a Western plus a love story. For those of you all that see it, you've never seen a love story about a black man and a black woman where it wasn't some old foul sex and foul language, huh? And Spike Lee can't appreciate that. That little thug ain't even seen the movie. He's acting like he white. Black folks show up a job with 5 PhDs, say, he must have cheated or she must have cheated. They haven't even seen it. Mm-hmm. So it must be something personal, because when I look at all them black entertainers that know Spike Lee, how you going to attack this man and don't be attacking them? You saying everybody's a fool but me? Well, it offended my ancestors, but when you did She Got to Have It and some of them other thug movies you did, when you took Malcolm X and put a zoot suit on him, red hat, orange floor, did that offend your ancestors, punk? It's a game, man. So whatever he's mad about is something that happened way, way a long time ago. Thank God it didn't work. That movie's made close to $400 million. Huh?
So you'll think it's a problem with Quentin Tarantino using the word nigger? You'll think he used it too much?
Wait a minute. Hold it. Wait a minute. Did you see Lincoln?
Yeah, I see Lincoln. Yes,
did they use nigger there?
Not as much as Tarantino.
No. Ho. No. I'm fixing to end this and now. When you reduce me down to a fool, it's okay for the people that did Lincoln to use nigger all through it, but nobody else? Huh? Is this the kind of interview I'm talking to?
Oh, no, sir. I just want to
get your point. No.
Mm-hmm.
They use nigger, huh? Did you see when Governor Perry of Texas was running in the primary?
Yes, sir.
And they found out him and his daddy used to rent this hunting I call niggerhead.
Yep, yeah.
Did the New York Times and the Washington Post, did it say N-word head or niggerhead? What is it about our mentality? It's okay for them to use it, but not you, huh? We talking about history, man. Huh? We talking about history. It happened. Huh? Nigger happened. Can you imagine the Jews one day being duped by somebody that no longer, the Germans, we want the Germans to use the word swastika or concentration camp, use the S word? There ain't another fool on the planet like us, huh? I didn't invent the word. And now, do you know if you was a 14-year-old German child and you heard yesterday that somebody called the president the N-word, you wouldn't know you wouldn't know what's wrong with the president. The N-word is the 14th letter in the alphabet, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if you was walking down the street today and a white dude walked up to you and say, hey, nigger, and hit you, you know that's a hate crime, don't you? That's the federal government. Are you aware of that?
Yeah. I mean, well, now I'm aware of it since you're telling me in that context. It's yeah.
If he walked up to you and said N-word and hit you, that's not a federal crime. What kind of fools are black folks, huh? Huh?
Yes, sir.
That's not. The word EMF, one day all y'all going to run for cover. They got you believing you invented. No, when they wouldn't let no more slaves in here, they put a sack over my mother's son and made him impregnate her, okay? That's where that word come from. But they got you believing you invented. You imagine what it force you to have sex with your mother and put a rag over your head and think she don't know who that is? And then all at once, if you impregnate your first cousin, the baby be born deformed. So you know if I impregnate my mother, the baby's born deformed. So how you going to sell a deformed slave? They couldn't. So they went out and talked to poor, ignorant, dirt poor white folks. Said, you want some slaves? We can't afford. Yeah, we got some crippled ones over here. We'll let you buy them, but you got to buy a dozen. That's where playing the dozens come from. Nobody on the planet played the dozens but black men in America and the Caribbean. Huh? And so when you sit and see all the times, when they did that movie, American Gangster, and Ruby Dee was the only person in the movie said nigger. them vicious downtown Italian mafia guys never said nigger and got us believing that this little punk black cat is a big gangster. So when they go around the world and say American gangster, everybody think American gangster look like me. That don't bother us, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And that little punk now, you know, the guy that they made the movie, he's still in New York on disability. So what kind of money do he have? This is a game. And now I'm glad the game is over when you don't have to apologize to nobody. I just called my mother out, huh? Huh? This is the ignorance I had in my house. This is what raised me, huh? Huh? And so then I look, oh, thou shalt not kill, but she let me go to the army, huh? Well, don't kill who? There's a big crime that takes place, and a whole lot of people, you hear black people, oh, I hope it wasn't a Negro. Well, who you hope it was? You didn't say you hope it didn't happen. Who you wanted to be, a Jew, an Italian, or Irish, a German? Who you wanted to be? And that's the craziness they put inside of us. There wasn't one black person that sit at the table when they decided the word nigger will not be used no more. That don't bother y'all? Not one black person sit at the table? Well, where did it come from? Mark Furman in the O.J. Simpson trial, when they got them secret papers, and every other word was nigger, 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 and then when he won the case, the white folks said, it was that word nigger, let's take it away. And we stupid enough to let them take away history? Huh? They don't go and ask no other race of people. The Indian, I saw Tonto in the Long Range as a little boy. I was a grown man before I realized the word Tonto means the stupid one and Kemosabe means the learned one. So all they got to do is change the language and you don't know it? It's okay to say nigger in German as long as I don't know you saying it? Huh? It's okay for you to rape my sister as long as I don't know you raping her? And that's what we're talking about. That movie. You know, I call people all over the world. I love the fact that a whole lot of people tune into my integrity. And if Dick Gregory say go, they're going to go. Then they'll come back and say, wow, man. Wow, Jesus Christ, man. Wow, you got people discussing it in the black community and never seen it. Never seen it. The movie's up for Academy Award. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Everybody in it that was black didn't get nominated.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Like the fact that Sam Jackson did this incredible character.
No, but that's America. What do you mean what I think? That's America. Huh? So forget just actors. What about all them school teachers, educators, scientists? They get the same stuff. Huh? What's that about? Huh? Well, I mean, what's that about? So don't act like we just found out when they misuse them.
Right.
And so when you stop and think about, you know, I mean, here's a movie that's a love story. All my life, I've seen white boys ride up to the corral with their horses, tie them up, go and have a drink. I've never seen a black man do that. And at the end of the movie, not just a black man, because the cowboys didn't have no girlfriends, okay? They went and went into the bar and played with the dancing girls. So they ended up with a piano. And so to see a black man and a black woman ride off into the sunset, huh? Huh? And let me show you something here. Those of you all that's listening, you can punch it up. John Brown's Black Raiders, 1859. On October the 16th, 1859, John Brown led 21 men on an assault at Harper's Ferry, an event that shook the nation and nudged it a little closer to civil war. Among those raiders was 5 black men. 2 of them men would die at Harper's Ferry. 2 would be captured and executed. 1 would get away and move to Canada. Now listen to this and see if you see something in that movie. His name was Dangerfield Newby, a strong 6'2" African American, was the first of Brown's men who died in the fight. Born a slave in 1815, would later be freed by his white Scottish father. Newby married a slave who was still in bondage in Virginia. A letter found in the dead man's body revealed his motives for joining John Brown. It's the letter from his slave wife. Dear husband, I want you to buy me as soon as possible. But if you do not get me, somebody else will. The servants of every one of them disagreeing with me. They do all things they can to set the mistress against me. Dear husband, the last 2 years have been like a troubled dream to me. It is said that Martha is in want of money. If so, I know he will sell me to anybody and any of us. Please get me soon. I want to see you so much. Newby's wife was sold after the raid and moved further to the south. That's who Jimmy Fox is. Huh? Think about the universal God. After he died, there was a letter in his pocket. Huh? A black woman doing slavery. Huh? A black man. That's what the movie was about. Huh? That's what it was about. And it was brilliant. And as long as there's somebody on the planet, see, as much as I know about blackness and willing to die for it, I didn't know those chains cut into your ankles like that. Nobody ever told me. They told me, but they didn't show it to me. Huh? I didn't see it. See, those children in Newtown, you didn't see them, so you don't have to go to therapy. Had you seen it, you'd be going to therapy.
Yes, sir.
Seeing is altogether different than somebody telling you about something. Huh? I didn't know that they had one man fighting another. I knew it. And then about 10 years ago, I knew it was a sex thing. When you go back and see that movie, he's up in that room by himself with his black hoe. The one that didn't look like a slave or act like a slave, they up there, and she's sitting behind him, and he's smoking his cigarette with the holder, all by himself, all dressed up. That's a sex thing, okay? And the same thing with the dogs. They have a sex thing out of that, huh? And the German shepherds that the Germans use, they learned that from us and went a step further. They would take brass teeth, false teeth, 10 false teeth, and hook it over the German shepherd's teeth and glue them in so when they bit the Jews, it would go all the way down and affect their nervous system. Huh? That's what you was looking at the other day. Huh? Not nigger. That's what you was looking at. Nigger. Huh? It's real. I ain't no nigger. I'm not what you call me. Anybody hear me say nigger, if you answer to it, you're a fool, because if I called you a billionaire, you wouldn't answer to it. So how so sure you'll never be a billionaire but got doubts about being a nigger? Huh? That's the whole mind thing. The whole mind thing. The word nigger don't bother me. What bothers me is the church didn't give me nappy hair. Redneck, nigger-hating white men didn't give me nappy hair. That came from the universal God, not the church. That God that made the mountains, that made the valleys, that made all the different types of food I eat until they started crossbreeding it. That's the same God that gave me nappy hair and a black face. And we're not honest enough to get up on the mountain and cuss God. We create a $3 trillion industry to straighten the hair out that God made. Straighten out of one God's mountains, huh? Straighten out one of God's oceans and see the price you're going to pay since you think you're so pure. Huh? You have violated a universal order. And any time the oppressed take on the same likes and dislikes of the oppressor, that's the universe saying it's over. I don't like my nose. I don't like my lips. Well, go tell God about it. Yeah, tell God about it. Don't tell me. God made it. That's how fouled up we are in our head and don't even know it. How many black folks listen to me now that know what I look like would never approve of your daughter? Man, a black man as dark as me, huh? What God you believe in, huh? And you worry about somebody calling you a nigger. I'd rather you to call me a nigger than tell somebody they can't marry me. So that's where we are. And how do we crawl out of it without even knowing that, huh? How do? You know how many people, if you ever lived in New Orleans, man, if we went there today, they have brown bag parties where they put a bag at the front of the door. If you darken the bag, you can't come in. And they tolerate that? Somewhere. And I looked at Obama. I was pulling for that second term, man. It got nothing to do with politics. I was pulling for the second term. People say, man, you know Obama is. How you pulling? Yeah, man, I'm pulling for it because that's the only thing I know will run white folk crazy. And then they got to the point they could tolerate it when close to the election. Oh, wow. And then he won again. I said, okay, God, thank you. They went mad. See, you can deal with crazy people, but mad people are mad dog. You kill it, huh? Or watch it kill themselves, huh? That's where we are. They can't hide no more. They can't put on their good suits and go to their good restaurants. The madness have come out, huh? And we just as mad because we tolerate it. I looked at my mother. In January, the first week after the holiday, she went to the store and started putting away our Christmas clothes, our Christmas gifts on the layaway plan. And she prayed, and she was able every year to get them out the week before Christmas. Dumb and stupid and ornery enough to herself to tell me a white man gave them to me, named Santa Claus, huh? That was my mother, huh? Do you know any white person, huh, that would spend trillions of dollars for a holiday and then say a Negro brought them to you children, huh? And yet we think we are, huh? Hey. I'm just sitting there watching it and enjoying it. I never thought I'd be around. It's like being there when Rome fell. And I ain't going nowhere. I'll be right here. I'll be right here. And so what we're talking about is, what we're looking at. The football game. Did you see that football game last night with the Ravens?
Oh, yeah, it was crazy. It was awesome.
No, it wasn't crazy. That was the mob. It's gangsters. Those games are fake.
Okay, okay, got you.
Don't dress it up.
You
saw what happened. Ain't no way they can beat them. Do you know how many billions of dollars changed hands last night with the real gamblers? Huh? All over the world, that's all they do is gamble. They gamble on anything, butterflies, anything. Huh?
Yes, sir.
That's what this is about. And then the week before that, when the Washington Deadskins.
Yeah, Washington Deadskins, right.
See, they forget that Indian told them, prophet, spiritual, went and met with Cook, the owner at the time, and asked him very legitimately and compassionately, would he change the name? He told him no. No, changing nothing. He said, then I'll put a curse on you and the team, and y'all will never have any luck until it happened. And look the way Cook died. All kind of disgrace, money problems. The money was there. They was fighting over the money. So from now we got the greatest quarterback since Jesus, if you listen to these thugs.
We see what they did to Jesus, though, right?
Where is he now? Huh? And to show you how they treat black folks, I don't know if you follow baseball in Washington, D.C., that white boy had an operation. It was the greatest thing out there, and they took him out before the season was over and didn't let him come back in. But this little punk, huh?
Mm.
And then he said, oh, no, he wanted to stay in. Come on, coach. You know if he'd have threw 3 interceptions, you'd have took him out, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But so now he stayed in there, and they don't know how long. They lying because if they say he won't be back soon, then they're not going to sell season's tickets, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm? And then they showed the little white girl when he got here. They showed the doctor, showed the white girl, his white lady up in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, the college played Notre Dame, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Played Alabama. And here's how they do it slick. Showed the quarterback, the white boy, and spoke up to his girlfriend. And the announcement on how beautiful she is. What's that about? Huh? We didn't come to see no fashion play. We come here to see a football game. What's she got to do with it? They're not even married. Whole lot of celebrities get stars. What are you doing? You comparing this white quarterback with this gorgeous white woman to this black quarterback to this ugly one. That's how it works. Huh? That was the talk the next day. People they didn't just get down. It was it was confused. They didn't understand it. Well, you don't turn on a football game to see no football player's girlfriend. That's not what I bought a ticket for. Huh?
Right.
That's how it works. Huh? That's how it works.
Well, what do you think about the Baseball Hall of Fame situation? Nobody got, selected, like Barry Bonds and people like that. What do you think about?
Well, that's good, but, they wasn't taking that, and the owners didn't know. Come on. Huh? So what is that about? The owners didn't know? See how many billions of dollars they made with that home ball until they caught it? No. The thing we all need to talk about is the dignity of Hank Aaron. When they went and passed his record on some dope, he didn't scream, he didn't holler, he didn't show anger or nothing. That's the one. Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron, he won't have no problem getting in all kind of awards and Hall of Fames and all of that. But they won't. Because it speaks for itself. They ain't going to never get in. But the strange thing is, man, is when that football player be sitting in the house. I don't like football. I don't even look at it. Man. I looked at it the other day because I want to see if the cuss was working. But I looked at Notre Dame. I like to see Notre Dame. They go out and make the sign of the cross, then lose.
Hey, I was real bad.
I said, maybe you think you should do another sign. Maybe. And so, when I look at sports and entertainment, and I stop and I think, there's 10 people, I'm not saying just 10, there's 10 people listening at your show that have done more for the humanities in the history of the planet than 99% of athletes and entertainers, huh? With the exception of Ali and a handful of others. I was with Ali, man. I watched it. I felt it. I looked at that. Whew. Oh, if you bring all the athletes, your prime athletes in Rome, and put them into one body, they couldn't equal one Ali. But the real white folks, not the ones we know about. See, if I took over the whole country, the whole world, I'd make all you black folks apologize to white folks because the white folks you mad at couldn't help you if they liked you. Queen Elizabeth make $360 million every 24 hours just interest on her money. Now, that's almost be white folks. But she ain't white. They faked the game. It was a little Kate. You saw that she was in the hospital the other day. You saw that. And something happened, and the nurse ended up committing suicide. If you're stupid enough to believe that Kate went in the hospital today from a drug overdose. That's what that was about. Look, I've been married 54 years and got 10 children. Mourning sickness, you don't have to go in the hospital for, okay? That's when the baby's kicking you because you ain't gave it enough water. And it's kicking, saying, hey, y'all. Because all you have for dinner the first 9 months in your mother's belly is her urine, okay?
Mm.
And when you don't drink enough, I'm not getting no urine. So I'm kicking you. That's what that was about. Well, who's going to tell you? The New York Times, the Washington Post, them papers complaining in England that the New York Times, the Washington Post didn't tell you the president was fixing to overthrow the government, but they didn't tell you about the maid over there, the nurse that was killed, saying that drug overdose. What did she know, or what did she say to somebody? Take her out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it's about.
You know, I also like to bring up what happened around with what happened in Colombia with the president, with the Secret Service agents. Like, what about this situation with one of the senior Secret Service agents, Rafael Prieto, I believe his name, allegedly committed suicide just a couple of days before the election? I mean,
he knew something. He knew something.
Okay.
He committed suicide. He knew something. No, he knew something. And so, Bob, take him out. But like I say, it's whoever's handling the president, it's their fault for letting him go someplace like that.
Do you feel like the president's life is in danger from internally? I mean, you talk about a coup with General Petraeus and like overthrowing.
And the only reason they caught it was some Russian spies told it, and Putin killed all the spies that told him.
Oh, really? Wow.
Okay. Yep. You say the president's life in danger. Didn't I tell you the plan they was going to kill Romney? They're going to stop with the president.
Oh,
Don't think it's a black thing. That helps. But Lincoln was killed. Kennedy was killed. And when you get through with the show, get on your computer and pull up Kennedy's executive order of June the 4th, 1964. You got that?
Mm-hmm.
The order, executive order 11110. You sign it, it takes 6 months for it to go into effect. He'd signed an executive order to do away with the Federal Reserve. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
But they make everybody think it was civil rights. Then go 100 years back to 1863, and Abraham Lincoln signed an executive order to do away with the central bank. Now you see why they put God and trust on it.
So really, none of this stuff has to do with black folks, civil rights, or slavery.
Did you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Else. And the good thing now, we got computers. You can pull it up.
Yeah, I just pulled it up right now. I'm looking at it right now. So this is the reason why Kennedy got killed, because he was messing with the money flow of the Wall Street folks.
That's what it was.
The same thing with Lincoln.
And then later, pull up the truth about birth certificates, okay? All birth certificates is owned by the Vatican and traded every day on the stock market, okay? The U.S. stock market. You ever seen your birth certificate?
Yeah, I seen it. I think that's.
You ever seen a stock certificate?
Yeah, I seen one before.
They're both identical.
That's okay. I see what you're saying.
That's what this is about. Why we sit here and we think, and not just black folks, white folks, they own theirs too. And then after you get through pulling that, pull up the truth about the city of London. London is not part of Britain.
Yes, sir.
London is a secret, separate entity controlled by 500 powerful white boys. And in order for Queen Elizabeth to come into the city of London, she got to get permission from the Lord Mayor. And if they give it to her, she got to come through the back gate, Temple Gate, dressed as a servant. But it's a game. And everybody's down here fighting and over there, looking over here and looking over there, and them chumps sitting upstairs. Manipulating. They don't have to manipulate no more. It's already in our genes now.
So actually, have you ever seen the movie The Beast of the Southern Wild? Have you seen that movie at all?
No, but next time you call my wife, just give her that message.
Okay. I appreciate everything you have done. I mean, like sharing your time with me and all this insight, and I'm glad that people get a chance to hear you via the internet.
Say this, my wife said, Greg, I know you got something to do today, but this is this brother called who you say you really like. I said, I'd very tell him not to do that because she runs, and you know what everybody else knows. If you want to get Dick Gregory, you got to call Lillian.
Yes, sir. And she's a beautiful woman. I appreciate
millions of dollars, never wrote a check in my life. All the money go through her. I learned a long time ago the two most powerful forces in the history of America is the black woman and the black church.
Mm-hmm.
And when we learn that, then everything opens up.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, Brother Gregory. Love you, manly, and keep on doing what you're doing.
And have a good year. Thank you.
I will. Thank you.
Bye-bye.